Hey guys!
Welcome to the Family and All podcast.
I'm Maria.
And I'm Miles. And this is episode 15.
Oh yeah, we're
Oh my
five.
God, 15!
We're 5.
So today we're going to be talking about mental health.
Yes.
I know. I felt too like...
Oh man.
But before we get into the main topic, we're going to do a little Am I the Asshole section? This was suggested by someone that watches, and
Yes.
shout out to you, Ash. And
Hi Ash.
she thought it would be a good idea to see how we react to these stories. So, Am I the Asshole, in case you guys don't know, is a place on Reddit where people can go and pretty much vent and get a consensus of, am I an asshole for doing said such thing?
I should go on there.
I know, right? So we're just going to read a couple, and we encourage you guys to comment along too in the comment section. And also, before we start, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. Because I know a lot of you are watching and not hitting that bell. So please, 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 please.
A lot of you ain't following either.
I know. Come on now.
I know who you are.
We're giving you the entertainment here. But yeah, so please do all the good things for us. So let's get into it. So let's try and find a good first one. So we have
Yes, please.
something that's titillating. This one says, okay, so the first one is, am I the asshole for not acknowledging my coworker's sexuality?
Ooh.
Okay, so I am honestly confused about this whole situation, so figured I'd come here and say, I am a 34-year-old female that works in a fairly open-minded and liberal field on a team of about 17 people. We recently hired a new person, Lana, as we'll call her, early 40s female, and we're having a casual getting-to-know-you session. I noticed she was wearing an engagement ring and wedding band, so I asked what her spouse does for a living. It's 2024. I always go gender neutral when I don't know someone's preference. She told me that her wife is a 4th grade teacher. My boyfriend teaches high school bio, so I figured it was something we had in common. I simply said, oh, cool, my boyfriend is a high school teacher. I can only imagine what it's like for her having to deal with these littles. Lana just said that she likes working with younger kids, then kind of quickly moved on to talk about something else. I didn't think too much of it. Well, earlier today, another coworker came up to me to tell me that Lana felt my response dismissed her telling me that she was a lesbian, and that it was rude of me to assert that I was in a heterosexual relationship with... My coworker thinks I should apologize. I definitely will. I don't think there would be any tension at work at all, but I really don't think okay, her grammar is atrocious, but I really didn't think I did anything wrong. Girl, that sentence did something wrong.
Oh my.
That was like, gave me a brain tumor reading that. I get that coming out is a big deal, and LGBT people often have to do it many times in their lives, but I guess I didn't view this as her coming out to me. It was a casual conversation, and she casually said wife instead of husband. I think it would have been silly to emote over the fact that she said lesbian as if it were a big deal. As for my boyfriend comment, I wasn't trying to assert my heterosexuality. I just thought, hey, we have something in common. If she had mentioned that she likes playing Stardew Valley, I would have jumped on that too. I'm going to try to talk to her tomorrow, but I would like a second opinion. My boyfriend doesn't think I'm an asshole, and my coworkers are sort of on the fence. So Reddit, am I the asshole?
So Lana is a female. Okay.
She said lesbian.
Yeah. And at the beginning, I was like, okay, why does that matter?
Right.
Okay.
So before you give an answer, how would you feel if a new coworker... I always somehow end up touching your boob.
It's okay. They're
very jaunty. If you were talking to a new coworker and this situation happened, how would you feel? Would you feel like they were dismissing your sexuality?
No. I think nowadays, a lot of people in our community are very sensitive.
I feel like people in general
Yes.
General or sensitive.
Yeah.
I don't want to pin too much of that on the LGBT because I think people just in general are.
Yes. I know a lot of people. I don't know. I've had a few people assume that I was in a. No, they automatically assume that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what fucking universe are you living in where people assume you're with a man?
Yeah, no, never mind. Scratch that. I don't think she's an asshole. I don't see any part of that like wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't straight up assume that she was a lesbian.
Yeah, she said spouse. It wasn't like she was like, "Hey, how's your husband?"
And it just because she said boyfriend doesn't mean watch out, she's hitting on you. Calm down. Like, I don't think she's an asshole. I think it could have turned into an asshole situation.
Right.
She could. I would have been an asshole.
Like if you were Lana, or if you were the girl that made the comment about her boyfriend. The girl that made the comment about her. You would be an asshole after you found out she took offense to it.
Yeah.
How would you be an asshole then? Would just be rude to her from that time on? Like, what the fuck? Would you try and have that conversation with her? Be like, hey, I wasn't trying to come for you.
I would, but I would definitely have attitude back towards her. Like, bro, what the fuck?
So this is why your conversations...
This is why I have no friends.
This is why your conversations go...
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think any of that was offensive at all.
Yeah.
She was being a little sensitive.
I think the same thing.
Yeah.
If I was in a relationship with a man and someone said, what does your spouse do? I'd be like, oh, they're being open-minded about it. They're not trying to be, how's your wife? Automatically heteronormative mindset towards me. No,
I'm not like that with anyone.
Yeah, same. So no, you're not the asshole 34.
What?
She never put her name, so she said she was 34.
Let's see. So, the topic for this one is, am I the asshole for not helping my brother in need when he refused to support me through a tough time?
Okay.
In 2016...
This is coming from the girl's perspective or the brothers?
The girls.
Got it.
Okay. In 2016, I, a 31-year-old female then, was in a very toxic relationship with someone, 42 male, who was incredibly
Wait, how old was she with this man?
31.
Oh, okay.
And he was 42.
I thought you said 21. No. I was like, girl,
get that money. Who was incredibly toxic and supportive of me in the beginning, but slowly started to back away from me. I became very indebted to a lot of people, including friends who tried to help me. When my relationship came to an end due to a very bad argument that almost became physical, I had to remain living with my ex until he moved out 2 months later. He was going back to his hometown, and we were poor, so he needed to save money. So I tried to keep it cordial in the meantime, but he was sleeping in the living room. When my brother found out we were still living together, he stopped talking to me and texted all of our friends to never help me financially or otherwise, or he would stop talking to them as well. Most of them did, and except for two friends, I was pretty much left by myself. I became homeless, moved to a different city, and started to work my ass off so I could have a better life situation. Now, 2024, I'm head of a department in a very good company, and I make decent money, and I've paid most of my debts to everyone. Recently I found out my brother wanted to talk to me because he needed help putting his 3 children, who he refused when I asked to meet them, through school and for living expenses, etc. I said no, and everyone says I'm just being vengeful and resentful. I have no feelings, good or bad, towards him. I left him in the past. I don't think about him or what he did to me. I just moved on and tried to be and do better for myself. Am I the asshole for not wanting to help?
Am I answering first?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No?
No. For me, just because we're blood and you treated me like shit, just because we're blood does not eliminate that. Mm-hmm. Because people think because you're a family member or you're a cousin, as we like to say, that does not eliminate you from doing me wrong. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't eliminate me from cutting you off if I feel like you have done me wrong and haven't atoned for what you have done.
Yes.
Because if you do something wrong and you apologize and that behavior continues, you're not apologizing for me, you're apologizing for yourself now.
Yes.
And if you have truly done me wrong, you have to know that you have to apologize and then atone for that. Change that behavior. So no, I don't think she's an asshole.
I don't think she's an asshole.
But I know you would still help him.
I would. Just because at some point, like, I'd probably let him struggle for a good minute. And then I would put my pride away and, help him.
Right.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me a third time.
House on fire.
We done. we motherfucking done, man.
Car revoked, house on fire,
everything done.
Yeah.
Especially if kids are involved. Like, that's, like, really big for me.
Yeah.
I have so many nieces and nephews. Like, I'm obviously going to help my brother. But I'm not doing it for him. I'm doing it for them.
Do you think you would help out? What if you just took them under and let your brother struggle?
I have tried that.
For her scenario, I think that would be the better option.
Yeah, I think it would.
Be like, you know what? I'm not going to help you. Fuck you. But I'll take your kids and I can help them because they haven't done me wrong.
They don't need to experience
an
asshole in their life.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think she's wrong.
Me neither.
No.
Am I the asshole? And I think this is going to be an interesting take from you because this is something that you're doing currently. Okay. Am I the asshole for refusing to babysit for one half sister while babysitting for another? I, 24-year-old female, have two sisters who have a child each. Gina, 31, and I share a dad. She has a son, Tim, 8 years old. May is my other sister, who is 30, is my mom's, and she has a daughter is from my mom, and she has a daughter named Rose, who is 5. Tim's father has never been in his life, while Rose's dad passed away 3 years ago. Both Gina and May work full-time in their own places not too far from our parents' house. Their other side of the family lives a few hours away. We 3 sisters are fairly close. I recently moved back to my hometown as I inherited a house from a relative. I'm freelancing while looking for a job, so my schedule is not too crazy. As a result, both of my sisters have asked me to babysit. To sum up, Tim was a nightmare while Rose was a much nicer experience. I told both him and Gina of what I found acceptable, but Tim does not improve much. After the 3rd session, I told Gina I could no longer babysit Tim. Gina then accused me of favoring May as she learned I still offered to babysit Rose. She said it was unfair. I was spending time with one sibling. She typed in nibbling. One sibling and not the other. The kids go to piano lessons together once a week, and Gina said they would definitely talk and compare their situation. I know I'm not obliged to babysit at all, but am I the asshole? So, Gina, who is Tim's mom. They share the dad. Rose is the daughter of May, who they share the same mom. She babysits for Rose still, but not for Tim.
And she's not babysitting Tim because he's a problem child.
Exactly.
Again, because it's kids, I would put all my anger away.
So you would suck it up and watch him?
Yes. Especially if I have the free time. It was so hard I'm watching Sage and then I have Mateo right now. It was so hard for me to give up my Thursdays for Sage, so Sage's other aunt from her dad's side could watch it. And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna miss her. But I love spending time with her. I love spending time with Nevaeh's son. But I I don't think I could ever just be like, oh.
So you think she is the asshole?
In a way, yes.
Okay.
I mean, I could see for her mental health why she wouldn't want to, but I mean, if she, cares about both her sisters the same.
Well, you know how I feel about children.
Yeah.
About children's. And I think at this point, I think my sisters know that I'm probably the last on the list they're going to ask to babysit. Because I'm just not good with children. You're very good with children. I am just not. It's like a sensory trigger for me, like loud noises, the constant pressure of like, oh my God, their life is basically in my hands, Yeah. Like that sends me to the fucking moon. Or I'm like, oh my God, they could choke it any second on their tongue or a little piece of fucking whatever,
Oh, and I'm constantly, Sage is fascinated with the dog food and dog water. And I'm constantly like, Sage, no. Sage, no.
Yeah, I am on her side. If I was babysitting one of my sister's kids and the kid was just fucking unruly, I couldn't do it. I'd be like, I love you guys with everything I have inside of me. I would do anything for you except that.
Take it back.
Like there are limitations on what anything I will do for you means. So if I'm
return it, please.
Right. Like,
it's broken.
You still have the receipt for this, right? Like, so no, I don't personally think she's the asshole. For my mental health, I would not watch them.
Either of them?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if she got herself into that situation.
Hey, she volunteered.
She did volunteer. Okay, so mental health.
Mental health.
It is something that I feel our generation is really trying to take seriously. Mm-hmm. And really trying to nurture and care for and save, because it's hard being out there these days.
Bruh.
It's hard.
Life is fucking rough.
Like, life will literally wring you out to dry and leave you there.
Life, people.
Yes.
Like, bruh.
I felt obliged to do this episode because I feel like for myself, I've been struggling a little bit with my mental health. Because I was going through therapy from 2021 until the January of last year, of 2023. And I really want to start going back again because as you know, we grow up, we never really had a chance to talk about our feelings, and it was more like get over it and move on. Or at least that's what it was in my family.
The only time I really talked about my feelings was after my dad died.
Yeah.
We had to talk to the school counselor.
Right.
Or when my dad got sick, we had to talk to him. So.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've never talked to a counselor.
This will be my 4th time going to therapy. My first time, I was actually in like third or 4th grade when my parents divorced. Mm-hmm. I went through the school therapist from 3rd to 5th grade. And then I went again when I was in middle school with my mom. We did like a group therapy, and that was fucking horrible. Like, I do not recommend a parent sitting in on your therapy session when you are an adolescent, gay kid who's getting beat up every day, and you have all these feelings, and your mom's sitting right next to you, and you can't really fucking express how you really feel,
Especially with parents that are
very closed off.
Yes.
I love my mother. Mm-hmm. My mother is not good when it comes to talking about your emotions or feelings or
runs in the family. Because my mother's just that.
Right.
I'm like, girl, get over yourself. Just listen to what I have to say.
Do you ever have those days when you're like, I really just want to call someone and just talk and have them hear me.
Yes.
And you try and do it with your mom, and they're like, well, why are you doing that? Get over it. It's like, I'm going to hang up this phone now.
Or like,
because you're
like my mom, she'll ask me my opinion on something.
You give it and they don't like it.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't agree with you. Oh, dang. Okay, I'm going to hang up now because you're making me mad.
Right. Exactly.
And I'm just like, I can't. Nowadays, I'm just like, I don't want to be part of anyone's drama. I don't.
Yeah. I don't want any part of it. I love seeing other people's drama. It's when I'm not a part of it.
Yeah.
Other people's drama, honey, broadcast that for the world. I want to watch it. Mm-hmm. I don't want drama in my life.
No.
But so back to therapy. So I went again when I was working at Starbucks in SoCal. Mm-hmm. And then I went again this last time. And the things you learn about yourself when someone's holding that mirror up to you and you literally have to talk to it and it bounces it right back to you is very scary. And I see why a lot of people don't go through therapy, because it can be very triggering and scary and all of those emotions that you're feeling all the time. And I remember my first meeting with my last counselor or therapist. I remember that first meeting, I had like butterflies in my stomach. Yeah. My heart was full. I'm like, what am I going to say to this person? You know, I don't want them to think I'm a crazy person. And then like 2 days later, I'm in fucking rubber socks, down at the fucking hanging out with Pepper from the asylum. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I did not want to happen.
Oh my God.
And it was actually so beautiful because it really gave me a breakthrough with my dad. Mm-hmm. And I remember the text I sent him about, going to therapy, and this is how I'm feeling. This is how you made me feel for all those years. And the fact that my dad was receptive to it,
yeah,
and accepted it, my stutter, accepted it, and wasn't turned off by the conversation was huge to me. And I just wish that a lot of people in our family can be like that, and I'm not perfect. This is not me saying I'm perfect in any stretch of the imagination. I am not. I am a work in fucking progress daily, because there are days when I want to go back to the messy miles where I'm just going to read the shit out of you and chuck the deuces up and walk away and not give two flying fucks about it. Mm-hmm. But you can't do that. Because I'm very mean. I am a mean person, and I fully accepting that.
Oh, and that is something I've accepted it, and I found it easier for me to just stay in my corner and not say anything, because no one wants to hear the truth come out of it.
Right. But that's something that shouldn't even be popping in our head, but it is. Mm-hmm. That's where the work needs to start. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
So, yeah, it's very hard, but I just wish therapy was free for everyone and everyone was receptive to it and was willing to go.
Yeah.
And I just wish all of the aunts and uncles can just go together and figure out what is actually the root of the problem. Because when I ask them, they
lost their rock. That was good.
Right. There seems to be no root to the problem. It's just this festering fungus on the top layer. Yeah. There's no grounds to it.
Yeah. I think because they're all alike, it just makes it worse.
Yeah.
They're constantly just battling themselves within each other.
And they just don't want to talk about it and apologize for certain things that might have triggered one another. Because no one's innocent in this situation.
No.
In any situation, like you, me, anyone else in the family, no one's innocent in the situation where you've made someone feel a certain kind of way. Mm-hmm. And it's not up to you to say, well, you don't get to be mad. It's up to you to say, you know what? I'm so sorry that made you feel like that. I'm not going to do that no more. See how easy that was?
Yep. Yeah.
How many times have me and you, gotten into it?
Quite a few times.
Countless.
Quite a few times.
Countless.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we can say, you know what? That was fucked up. I'm sorry.
Go get a drink?
Right. When I was still drinking, yeah. You
want to go get chips?
But that takes balls to do that. That's not easy.
Yeah.
I've had fights with some of my best friends that made us fall out for months and sometimes years. And we come back and it's, you know what? That was really fucked up. I apologize. And that's not going to be me from now on. You know, how do you feel about therapy? Do you feel like it's a good thing?
Yes. I'm one of those people who's very scared to go, but I think at some point I'm going to have to get over that fear and go. Yeah. There's a lot of bottled up stuff. I can only talk about so much to one person that I don't want to overload them. Yes. And end up with rubber socks. Yes. Then I talk to myself and I'm like, okay, now I'm really going to be in rubber socks.
But the worst part is when you start answering yourself.
I'm in the mirror like.
Same.
Oh my God.
I'll walk by, I'm like, bitch.
Yeah.
Just keep walking like, dumbass.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Kayla wants us to do couples therapy, but she also thinks and suggests that me and my siblings and my mother go to therapy too.
Yes.
There's a lot of bottled up stuff between all of us too that need to be worked out. But I think it's better if we all do individual therapy and then
collective. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I'm so for therapy. And do you think it's just the generation before us was just not into that, like the boomers? We're not into opening up and stuff because I don't know, because
I feel like that back then they were very open with a lot of stuff.
And it's so weird because to me, I never saw grandma as someone who's closed off emotionally. So I'm like, how did that?
She was very straight-faced a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I never got that from her. She was always cutting up, laughing.
I mean, she was, but at the same time, she was very...
Well, let me tell you, when she was mad, yeah, you knew she was pissed.
Where's that wooden spoon?
That fucking wooden spoon she used to just hang in the kitchen? Yeah.
Yeah.
That woman was...
Right by the front door at the cabin.
Yeah, she was very easy to read for me. But maybe just, I don't know if maybe we just had a different kind of relationship or... But
well, I always knew when she was happy or upset.
Right.
I mean, I just tried not to make her mad.
Yeah, I think I've only made grandma probably a handful of times. And most of it at the time was when we would just take off and not tell her where we went.
Yeah. All the time.
That time we just took off for the day and we were gone literally all day long. She was pissed. Remember she waited in the doorway for all of us? Get in the house! And you're just like,
oh, no, it wasn't me.
You're trying to fucking...
beat the fucking spoon?
What's it called when you try and go into the bar?
Limbo?
Yeah, when you're trying to limbo by her. Dodging the hands as she's swinging at you.
Yeah. No, but I would definitely, especially nowadays with how this world and economy is, I definitely have been thinking more and more about doing therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's helpful for sure. I remember, so someone had said it on RuPaul's Drag Race before, but my therapist said it a different kind of way, but it was basically don't let that hurt child make your grown-up decisions. And I was like, because that for me was a lot of it was that hurt kid making my decisions through life that Probably were not the best.
I think I had more of a hurt teenage life than I did childhood.
Yeah.
After like 13.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
That teenage years were like fucked up.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
Like I knew who I was, but didn't want to, open up. Kept closeted for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I first told someone I was like into guys in 7th grade, and she went and told the whole fucking school.
Yeah.
And like the next day, it felt like that. Remember in Mean Girls when Katie walks into the gym and everyone just like turns their head and stares at her? That's what school felt like the next day.
Yeah.
It was like she was on a megaphone, like, this man likes, almost said dick hell a lot. This man likes assholes. Like, it felt like she was in the middle of the school just screaming on the boulevard.
Yeah, I think mine was 8th grade too. It just spread. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm here.
Right.
I'm queer.
I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah. Nowhere.
So, do you have any like daily exercises that help with your mental health at all, or are you just kind of just drudging through like you're doing a fucking Spartan race?
Recently, maybe like the end of last year, got saltwater tanks because when I'm near like water, I'm very cool, calm, and collected.
Which is weird because we're air signs.
I don't know why. Water, I'm drawn to water. So I recently got these, and every morning I'll go and I'll talk to my little fishies, clean the glass. Like, I'm just
decompressing.
Yeah, and then when I get home from work, I do the same exact thing. Give them their food.
Yeah. And
I have clownfish, so they're very sociable.
Active.
And they come up to the top and eat out of my hand. So it's like, I don't know. And now I see the baby every night, and I don't even better. He makes me happy.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
So you would say like finding something you love is what helps you with your mental health.
Before, we used to be drawing and all that stuff.
And you're a great artist. If you guys do not know, Maria is such a good fucking artist. It's crazy.
Like barely draw now. I mean, I'll sketch sometimes on my iPad, but other than that, I don't really freehand anymore on the pen and pad unless I'm at work and bored.
Right. True.
Yeah.
For me, something that really helps me is I like to write. I have like notebooks and notebooks and notebooks of poems, stories, emotions, feelings. Because for me, I need to get it out. Because if it's in here, it's just gonna fucking fester and get angrier or sadder or whatever that emotion is. I'm like a fucking I'm a furnace. It's gonna burn that shit up like crazy.
Yeah.
So I need to get it out of me to almost deal with it in a way, if that makes sense.
I think Kayla too, because if I'm like in a really bad mood, she will sit there and listen to me. She won't retain it all. But
I was just gonna say
she'll sit there and listen to me. She lets me get it out.
Yeah, she lets you vent it out.
Yes. But she won't remember the next day.
I was just gonna say, how much does she remember of that conversation?
Shit, I told her what.
Imagine when her clients they're like telling her like stories. She's like,
yeah. No, Monday I reminded her on Friday. I was like, hey, my schedule changed for the following week. I'm gonna close Monday. Sunday comes around. I was like, man, I got off work after my store meeting, and I was like, man, I gotta go to bed, or I don't have to go to bed early because I don't have to open in the morning. She's like, what? I'm like, what? She's like, what did you just say? I was like, I'm gonna go to bed because I don't have to open in the morning, or I can sleep in because I don't have to open in the morning. She's like, what? Girl, I told you this 2 days ago, multiple times. And she's like, oh yeah, I remember.
Not remembering a goddamn thing.
Girl, you better stop right now. You're not pregnant anymore. You're supposed to remember things.
You're about to be single, lady. Are there any like TV shows or music you have to put on when you're like in a certain state of mind to like get you out of it?
Definitely my whole Bob Marley album.
Right.
Or I'll just whistle his little "Don't Worry, Be Happy" tune. Mm-hmm.
Do they play it at your work at all? They do?
Well, we can control the music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I just go and turn Pandora on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I play it.
Nice.
Quite a few times a day.
For me, the SZA Control album fucking transcends me to another dimension. When I need to just get an emotion and feeling out, I'll put that album on and just fucking write. Mm-hmm. And write and write and write. I've written up to like 80 pages in a night. Just.
I do a lot of cooking too when I'm like worked up.
Uh-huh.
I'm like
new recipes or just cooking in general?
Just cooking in general. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just like to cook.
Well, I think Grandma used to do that too. Mm-hmm. When she was,
I learned a lot from her and my mom. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I like to cook a lot.
That's a good like stress reliever too, because at the end you get a result.
Sometimes I'm like, could have used something else.
And obviously, plants are a huge thing for me.
Oh yes.
If you guys have not seen my house, it is just riddled with plants.
I'm getting there.
Yeah,
my whole kitchen's full.
I saw this thing the other day. Oh my god, on IG. Mm-hmm. Someone had this when you walk into a bottom's house and this guy he's like, it's a green screen where it's just the back screen is just a house filled with plants. Oh, and it's like when you walk into a bottom's house and it's like wee wee wee, and I was like, oh, this is how people feel.
I feel triggered.
I was like, these are hitting a little too close to home. But yeah, so plants are another huge stress reliever for me. Like, and because I feel like plants suck out the bad and produce the good. Yeah. In my mind.
Oh, okay. This nothing to do with plants. I mean, because plants make oxygen and shit like that. I am throwing Kayla under the bus for this, and I want the whole world to fucking hear this.
Exclusive.
Do we breathe in oxygen or carbon dioxide?
We breathe in oxygen, produce carbon.
Thank you. Just wanted to make sure.
Was she thinking it's the opposite?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, she went to school in Florida. So that scams.
She tried to argue with me for a good 5 minutes. I was like, no, Kayla. We breathe in oxygen.
That's what the plants are.
Air.
That's what the plants are cleaning out.
Yes.
Carbon.
You're breathing out dirty air. It's like, oh, that makes sense. I want to know.
But when you explained this to her, were you explaining to her like she was a dumbass?
No. No.
Or how did you say? Because I know you. Were you like, listen, Kayla?
It's more listen, Linda.
You get that tone where I'm like, girl.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, I knew that was.
Yeah. That's the only way to understand
me. You're like, listen, bitch. Come on now. Yeah, so you breathe in oxygen.
Yes.
You produce carbon. How does social media affect your mental health?
It really depends.
For me, because I'm queer, I see a lot of like gay men obviously on my timeline. Seeing these guys that are just fucking jacked, ripped, godly bodies that are just getting fucking like millions of comments about like, you're so fucking beautiful, and then you get a guy that's, maybe slimmer or thicker or heavier, and they'll have 2 comments. It's like, for me, the body like image is very triggering.
Me too.
Because I've gone through a lot of different stages where I've been very skinny, I've been very overweight, got back to being in weight during COVID, I gained a lot back. So it's like...
Yeah, no, me too. I feel it. And I know I can fix it, but I gotta take care of...
I'm down 27 pounds, y'all.
I gotta take care of some things first.
Yeah.
Here. Because it really, like, weighs a toll on me.
Yeah.
Like, a lot. But, yeah, I would say that kind of... Things like that trigger me on social media.
Or if, like, I'm already in a bad mood and I see someone post some dumbass shit, that will trigger me, like, even fucking more. And I'm like, just click off the app right now because I'm going to fucking go in.
I was just telling Kayla last night, I had made us some dinner, and I was telling her, I was like, she's like, you know, you should start making, like, TikTok videos, or do you watch this cook on TikTok? I was all, I really can't watch people who cook on social media, because sometimes I'm like, why did you do all those extra steps to get that one flavor?
Yeah.
When you could just use this. Like, it bothers me. It irks me.
Like, triggers you?
Yes. I'm like, I can't really do cooking. Like, I'll watch Gordon Ramsay and I'll still critique him.
Yeah. That's how I feel about, like, when I watch people play Pokemon, too. When they do, like a walkthrough of a game. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why the fuck did you do that?
Why the extra steps, man?
Right. I'm like... And especially if it's something you're really passionate about, it triggers me to, like, the nth degree.
Yes.
Taking care of your mental health more important now or in your past? Do you think you should have started later or is now?
I think right now where I'm at in my life, it's more important, especially now that I have the baby. Mm-hmm. I think...
Okay, I wanted to ask this. How do you... This is kind of off topic, but still in the realm of... How do you feel about gentle parenting? Is that something you want, or are you someone that...
It's something Kayla wants.
Uh-huh.
Me, if my child is doing something incorrectly or wrong, I will address it. If I have to tell him multiple times, boy's going on timeout.
Right.
If it's a consistent thing, boy's gonna get a whoop.
I just don't think I could hit my kids.
I'm not talking about whole fucking...
No, I don't mean like you're gonna... I don't mean you're gonna, like, deck them or anything, but even, like, spanking or anything, like, I spanked Alicia one time because she was pulling Alexis's fucking hair, like, almost out of her head. It was crazy. That girl in her twos was something else. I've never seen anything like that before in my life. But anyways, I spanked her once and I felt so bad about it.
I feel bad. I tell you, when I swat Sage's hand, I feel bad.
Right.
But at the same time, even my words telling her no, she's not going to understand.
Right.
If her hand is in that dog food and I swat it, she'll pull it away. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, I'm telling her no.
Yeah.
Because even if I just pull her hand away, she just looks at me like, oh, girl, you're testing my patience. But, I mean, if I'm out in public, I probably wouldn't.
Right.
I probably actually wouldn't even leave my house if my kid was already having a tantrum. There's, like, times where, okay, Mateo is very clingy right now, which is okay, but at the same time, we need to start weaning him off of us.
To be more independent.
Yes.
Right.
So there's days where he'll start crying and Kayla, like, rushes to him, like, no, let him cry.
Yeah, you gotta let him self-soothe.
Let him get it out. I'm like, he will put himself to sleep. It's fine. Mm-hmm. Just let him get it out. And she's like, oh, he just feels so bad. I'm like, okay. And then, like, she's watching him by herself and she's, like, stressed out because she has to hold him all the time. I'm like, put him down. Let him cry. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta let the baby realize that, like, yeah, I'm not...
If you start... The sooner you start it, the easier...
In the long run.
Yes, it's gonna be.
Right. How early is it to start potty training?
About a year or so.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can, as soon as they start walking, you can try it. But Yeah, I don't know. I definitely I don't do it all the time. I wouldn't do it all the time, but if it was a horrible situation, I could probably get a little pow pow.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I could do that, but obviously I'm not in that situation, so it's hard for me to say what I would do if I'm not, actively in that situation. I just wish my parents were a little bit more self-aware instead of immediately going to hitting. It could have been like, what's actually going on? Oh, really? My mom would tear my ass up. Tear my ass up. Until she started getting carpal tunnel and then the hit started not getting as bad. But you had to play it off like, ow! I became a real good actor. And this is not, I don't want this to feel like this is a...
We're not bashing anyone.
Yeah, we're not hating on our parents. We're just telling our experience.
This is like if we were in a therapy session right now. This is what we would be expressing to our therapist. If you can't handle our feelings, I'm sorry.
Do you hate when you're expressing your feelings to someone and they turn it to make it about them?
Yes.
That is the most triggering thing to me. I don't want to say the specifics of it, but basically something happened between a sibling and my mom, and I heard both sides, and obviously I wasn't there, so I don't know what really happened, right? Mm-hmm. So I heard both sides, and I just wish that there was a way to talk without getting talked back to in a negative way. Mm-hmm. I just want to tell you what's happening so you can acknowledge it and talk about it and move forward. This is not me trying to attack you. This is not me trying to make you feel bad or make you feel like a bad mother, because obviously you were a good mom to provide us with what we had. I mean, you were never home because she had to work so much, so I didn't really feel like I had a parent there, kind of, but that's not all her fault. She had to work.
That's why you were at my house all the time.
Yeah. That's not necessarily her fault. She was just trying to do what she had to do to make sure we had what we needed to have. But yeah, I can't get with the idea of talking over someone. And I know I talk over people a lot, but don't agree with that, bitch. I know I talk over people a lot, but I also let people get their airtime to say what they need to say and get stuff off of their chest.
Ew.
That was coming off wrong, and then I was like, I need to reword this.
Yeah. I can't.
Do you feel like it's easy to talk to your siblings about how you're feeling? Or is that still hard too?
I'm still trying to get with one of my sisters, even getting her to talk to me. The other one, she ain't got no problem with talking about her feelings, and I'll let her know my feelings. Same with my brother. I can talk. Actually, I can really talk to my brothers. Yeah. Especially the younger one. Mm-hmm. He loves calling me.
And he's easy to talk to.
Yeah. And I'll talk to or call him randomly, but he loves my phone calls. But I guess, for the majority, it's easy to talk to them when we want to talk to each other.
Yeah. My sisters, we're just not emotional people. Mm-hmm. So we don't really tell each other what's going on in our lives. When they quit jobs and we start working somewhere new, I'm like, oh, you work there? I didn't even fucking know. No one said anything. Yeah. So I feel like that aspect we need to get better at, especially getting into our older age, and our parents are getting older, and you have to start worrying about different things in life. It was really hard to when you see your mom in a compromising like space, like when she had her surgery and stuff, and she couldn't really do anything for herself.
Yeah.
It's hard to see your parent like that. And I know you know what I'm talking about, obviously. Mm-hmm. So I just wish that me and my sisters were more communicative to, say how, just to be like, hey, have a good day.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And that I'm in that too.
Yeah.
I'm not pinning that all on that. I'm in that as well.
I wouldn't say I necessarily, maybe the younger one, I'll text him every day or call him every day, but he's
right
way down there on
300 plus miles away.
Yeah, so, and he's a first responder. Obviously, I'm going to make sure he's okay.
Right.
My other siblings are just right around the corner.
Yeah.
So, it's, I don't know, it's easier to just talk to him because he's so far away, but I don't know.
Do you, obviously we've known each other our whole lives.
Have we?
Do you feel like, personally for myself, do you think it's easier to talk to me now or when I was younger?
I think it's always been easy to talk to you.
Yeah.
I think when we were both down south and in our party phase, it was a little harder. We were like really drunk.
All the time.
Yeah. Then we would, let our feelings out.
Right.
Especially on those car drives, huh? No, I think you've always been easy to talk to. I've never had a problem.
Yeah. I just, I have had other family members tell me that it was kind of hard to gauge me and
I'm sure those family members are the same ones you're like, oh, I can't really talk to them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
And I don't, this has never been said, but I just have this feeling of like when I'm around the family, sometimes people don't know how to interact with me. And I'm like,
honestly, besides Chelsea, I think all of you guys are really hard to talk to at social gather or like family gatherings.
Yeah.
I think that's just the people you guys put off. But once we get you going, then we can't shut you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I'm a bridge to a lot of branches of
you are
family.
Yes.
Yes. Especially like as we're getting older.
Yes.
Too. But
that's how I am.
Yeah. Talking to you is hard. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't think it's ever been hard to talk to you. Even when we've been pissed, we've let each other have it. Mm-hmm. So I don't think we've ever had an issue like telling each other how we felt, even if it was a negative thing.
And no, just
it was like vomit of the mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, it's never been hard for me.
No. I don't see it. I would never even think about it being hard talking to you. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know, but
maybe because we've been so close growing up.
Maybe, but I don't know. I feel like with some family members, it's hard for me to converse.
It's like with Audra. I fucking love talking to her. I call her all the time, even though she's working all the time.
Yeah,
I still bother her and make her talk to me for like an hour.
She's like, bitch, I gotta hang up the phone.
Okay, I gotta go back to work. Wait, hold on.
One more thing. So do you have any like ending remarks about mental health?
Just don't bottle your feelings in.
That's dangerous.
It is.
That's like putting fucking Mentos in a fucking Coke bottle.
Yeah. Don't do it. I did.
And if you guys don't know what that is, you're fucking Gen Z. For sure.
Y'all need to go try it.
Yeah. No. Not in your house, though. Not in your
try
house.
it.
Not in your house.
Do a small Coke bottle and give it to your mom.
Mom, you want some Coke? Just kidding.
But yeah, don't bottle it in. If you have a family member or a friend, a really close friend you can talk to it, get it out. If you don't feel like that's helping you, there's always therapists.
therapists. There's free hotlines. There's so many different outlets and avenues that you guys can look for. I wish we had some on hand, but maybe we'll try and add some in. And if we don't, we tried our best.
Still a little incredible.
Yeah, I know. Any thoughts on mental health? First of all, like I said again, I don't want this to feel like this is an attack on any family member or anything like that. We're just talking about our personal feelings, how we feel about mental health. For me, like I said, I wish me and my sisters were more communicative. I wish my mom sometimes was more receptive to things I said.
Me too.
And we could have like an honest and non-verbal sparring, because I feel like sometimes we're just doing this back and forth. And it's like, I don't want to do this with you, but I will. But I don't want to, but I will.
Yeah.
And honestly, like the relationship I have with my dad now is just, I never thought I would have that.
That makes me happy.
And that's just because we talked about it. We moved on. He even texted me the other day asking what I wanted for my birthday. He's like, just thinking about you, love you, have a good day. For me, that is like crazy. And that is just something I wish every kid had with their parent. You know?
Yep.
So please take care of your mental health, because it's fucking crazy out here.
We're here if you want to talk.
Yes. Not for too long.
We haven't.
Yeah. But yeah, so thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you guys for all that you're helping us do with the podcast. I can't believe we made it to episode 15.
I know. We're going strong.
We're going so strong. What?
Hey!
Down. That's right. But yeah, so please, I know we said at the beginning of the episode, please comment, like, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell that when we go live every Saturday for you guys. We're the Family and All podcasts across most of our all of our platforms.
All of our platforms. TikTok, Instagram, Spotify,
Twitter.
You need to post some stuff on Twitter.
I know. We're gonna get better. We're gonna start posting shorts on YouTube.
Yes, I have them all saved.
Yeah,
I just gotta hit post.
We're gonna do that for you guys, because you guys loved that one short for some reason. You loved us talking about hot dogs, which we need to get one of those hot dogs.
So bad.
But thanks you guys so much, and we'll see you on the next one.
Love you.
Bye, guys.